So every now and then I'll read an interesting book, either about gaming or design, or in this case, AI. Let's talk about The Coming Wave, AI, Power, and Our Future by Mustafa Suleyman. The book was published in 2023, but includes an afterwards for 2024, where he summarizes the current development of AI. Now, the short story is that Suleiman sold DeepMind to Google, and after a few years with them, he started Inflection AI, the makers of Pi.ai, which was later acquired by Microsoft. Suleiman is now the CEO of Microsoft AI in Redmond, Washington. The goal for these videos is to summarize the book and possibly get you guys excited about studying things like data science or learning Python. I also think that as bright individuals, getting a peek at the next few years might help you choose what you want to study next. Let's break the book down into some interesting takeaways. Technology cannot be contained. Yes, we know that in a sense, AI is so powerful. There may be some negative effects to its development. Some people may lose their jobs. Hell, I might lose my job. Some people may need to go back to school and find a new position where they can add more value. In a way, there's a part of us that wants to put AI in a bottle and just throw it into the ocean, but we can't. Every country in the world is using this technology, and if one country quits on AI, they'll just fall behind. In a competitive market, we need to adapt to the new world rather than clinging to the technology of the early 2000s. For example, when railways were invented, this happened. Electricity did the exact same thing. The secret is not to predict the future, as that's almost impossible, but just make sure you're not the next Luddite. Luddites, as you know, is a group of people who refuse to use the latest and greatest technology. Being stubborn is not a great business plan. Instead, take your brilliant mind today and see if AI can help you automate parts of your life that you don't enjoy and improve things you do enjoy. That's how you win. We may be replaced. The bad news, as mentioned earlier, is that AI will replace a wide range of white-collar workers. The crazy thing is that we also have robots currently working in places like Alibaba and Amazon warehouses that are trying to replace manual laborers too. We need to add value in a world where both white and blue-collar jobs are at risk. I think part of what you bring to the table is your positive, creative, and charming personality. Those are the things technology can never replace. I'm talking about soft skills, communication, collaboration, and persistence. Worldwide risks. Risks of AI go well beyond unemployment. We always worried about getting laid off, but the downside of international AI includes a whole new batch of nightmare scenarios. Deepfakes, weaponized drones, biolabs with safety issues, and AI-generated misinformation had already caused real-world harm. We can only imagine that's going to scale up in the future, making careers in cybersecurity even more valuable and lucrative. I also believe that some developed countries with a rigid legal system are going to be at a disadvantage, while many developing countries may threaten them with bribes. One hopes that companies like Google, Microsoft, and Apple, those that hold much of our personal information, are ultra serious about security too. Regulation must be global and forward-looking. Yes, there are regulations already in forward-thinking areas like Europe, but we all need them and more. The biggest challenge is that we all know how slow the legal system is when it's combating technology. Considering the billions of dollars being poured into AI every year, this may be the biggest risk of all. We may need to develop certain habits and be careful what kind of personal information we share online, e.g. with ChatGPT, our browsers, and our password managers. Because once our personal data is out there, it's really out there. We don't want to be Luddites, as I mentioned earlier, but we need to tread safely. Biological AI. While much of what we do with AI these days is interesting, the groundbreaking stuff might be in the world of biology. If we can combine the power of AI and synthetic biology, we can customize medicine to make it perfect for someone's specific DNA. At the very least, we can lengthen your life and, especially with quantum computing, the very most, we can eliminate some of the greatest illnesses of all time. This is pure speculation, but the power of AI can grant medicinal companies the chance to unlock certain illnesses with the perfect medicine and ideally with the least amount of side effects. China. China is not just catching up, it's becoming the dominant tech power, leading in patents, quantum computing, and biotech. Over and over and over, we found that China's government is focusing much of its money and research on AI. Across all measures, China is racing into the future at a much faster rate than the USA or Europe are. 10 years from now, China could deeply integrate AI into every sector and, of course, promote AI study in all levels of education. Since China was always a leader in manufacturing, don't be surprised if factories are also running on AI, lowering costs while becoming even more profitable. Considering China's education in manufacturing, I'd say the pressure is on India, another company that embraces STEM research, to catch up. I also think many products in China will also depend on AI, with autonomous cars and phones leading the way. This is an exciting time. If you work as a data scientist or just a software developer, the world is about to explode as every investor on Earth is handing you a blank check. That said, with every passing week, it seems that AI can do your job better than you ever could. Perhaps the best bet is to be an investor and just live off dividends. As an English teacher, I'm not worried about international warfare because I'm too concerned that in a few months, AI will wipe me out. While I have other irons in the fire, I'm hoping that the time I put in to help my students will keep me going even for one more school year. Keep up the amazing work, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.